time now, 12 minutes before the hour.
It used to be that the networks would give viewers a summer vacation of sorts. When the season's new episodes would end, they'd say, see you in September, and start rolling the reruns. But it's getting harder to let go of your favorite shows these days. So let's turn to Pat Collins and find out what's going on.
What's going on? Well, in last year's Cliffhangers, Bobby Ewing was shot on Dallas. Alexis went to jail in Ermines and Pearls and Dynasty. And on Falcon Crest, the Channing family plane bought the farm on the way to Italy. This year, the Cliffhanger writers must be moonlighting for Brides magazine. Bobby Ewing will meet his fate again after a wedding at South Fork. On Cheers, Diana's about to get married, and it's not to Sam. And on tonight's episode of Dynasty, the cast will gather at the most publicized wedding since Charles and Diana's. It's been a great year for nighttime soaps, with 4 of them in the season's top 10. And even a non-soap Cheers borrowed the Cliffhanger approach for its finale last week. So far, no Cliffhanger has matched the Who Shot JR episode of Dallas with a 53.3 rating and a 76 share in 1980. The one that could come close is tonight's Dynasty nuptials. Now the Carringtons don't have to worry about paying the catering bill or Uncle Melvin getting drunk. No, as the rich and witchy head toward Moldavia, the Carringtons have bigger problems. Who will survive the terrorist attack on the royal wedding?
Please, Sam. For once in your life, have done the right thing. Don't be at Cheers. Be on a plane.
Will Sam stop Diane from marrying Frazier?
Why don't you just tell me where the babies are? I just don't seem to get any closer to finding those babies.
Well, this is the only way we have to pin down Ackerman and get to those babies.
How will Val's twin babies be found, and who will get to them first?
Nobody knows. Better than I, what an unfair situation this is.
Will the innocent Lance be locked up for life for his mother's attempted murder and his girlfriend's tragic death? Is Farillo drinking again, and is this the end for most of the men on the Hill? Will Bobby Ewing cling to life and find happiness again with Pam? And does anyone care? Apparently, yes. Cliffhangers guarantee high ratings. But say the show's creators, that's not why the writers leave the viewers hanging.
I don't think we necessarily accomplish anything in terms of ratings since the one big one, which was the Who Shot JR.
Fortunately, we are highly rated, but I don't think you can ever be too highly rated to satisfy the producers. A cliffhanger beyond that, however, is something that I think an audience really expects in our form of drama.
It's a suspense device. A cliffhanger is something that was invented back during the Arabian Nights. There was a story about a young princess named Scheherazade who would be put to sleep if she bored the king. So every night she would put she would stop telling the story at the most exciting point in the story so that she would live the next day. And in television, we do somewhat the same thing because we live or die figuratively in the ratings.
Cliffhangers, like The Perils of Pauline, kept movie audiences on the edge of their seats, watching the heroine narrowly escape one heart-stopping moment after another. In television, the damsels face a different kind of distress, but the device remains the same.
As a device simply to bring the audience back at the beginning of each new season.
A cliffhanger can be a convenient device to write out a star who the producers consider trouble. It's one way of keeping the cast humble, at least for a while.
Well, they tend to be on their best behavior during the last few weeks of shooting, let me say that.
Sometimes actors feel that you write them out because they ask for too much salary. And I've heard that said time and time again by actors. It isn't true. An actor is written out if he has used up his usefulness to the show.
Sometimes it's the actor who wants out. And this year, it's Patrick Duffy, who is giving up Bobby Ewing and a $40,000 a week salary.
Hey, everybody. I want you to meet Jack Ewing, Jason's boy.
There is a new Ewing at South Fork, played by Dak, not Dick, but Dak Rambo. It's assumed he'll take on the good guy image that made Bobby popular with the viewers.
On Dallas, there is only one villain, and that is Larry Hagman, who does it brilliantly, and I think that to try and compete with that, yes, you could, but then after a while, then you're going to be out of the show. I wouldn't mind staying on the show for a while.
When it comes to cliffhangers, have you noticed that every show has its favorite device? On Dallas, the writers like to shoot people. Knots Landing prefers nervous breakdowns and emotional wrecks. Falcon Crest goes for catastrophes and disasters.
It's not shutting down. We've been sabotaged.
Catastrophic events usually carry a great number of people. They usually cause them more talk. They are splashier to film. They are bigger news, say, than if you poison someone or drown them in a vat of Cabernet Sauvignon. So that we usually look for the big device.
Generally, we prefer to do what we call emotional cliffhangers. There's cliffhangers that leave, which really aren't cliffhangers, because nobody's hanging over a cliff except the cliff of their sanity, maybe.
You can ask all the stars about these cliffhangers, and not one of them will give you a clue, much less the plot. It's not that they're good about keeping a secret. It's because they don't know the secret.
You may or may not believe this, but I mean, we don't know what's going to happen. And they probably all tell you that with all the shows. But it's true. I really don't know what's going to happen. And I think that they probably filmed several different ways of whatever the cliffhanger is. But, you know, they give us a script, and the pages that tell us, or would have told us what is to be, they're not there. They've been taken out. So it says to be announced. So we'll learn what happens when you learn.
Well, we know one thing, that tonight the 4 big stars of Dynasty survived because they just signed 2-year contracts. At least that's what the Hollywood Reporter tells me. So I have to believe that they will survive the terrorist attack on I love the country of Moldavia. And that one.
Oh, I do too. That's always a good indicator.
Yes,
Where are the babies?
Well, you think I would tell you if I knew?
It may take about 3 or 4 months.
I'm not telling where the babies are. The babies are having their Gerber dinners. I'm not telling you where they are.
5 before the hour.